Hello and welcome to 10x Growth Talk. And this week we're going to talk about the referability habits. And I'm going to talk about 4 habits that are known as referability habits. And I'm going to talk about how it refers to teamwork, how it refers to us dealing with each other, and how it also refers to how we deal with clients, company clients, and internal clients. So with these 4 habits in practice, teamwork works really well. You have really good teamwork, you have good relationships, you have good things going on. And without it, it's literally sabotaged. Problems occur and surface. And I think it's actually the most important part of how we deal with people. So the first referability habit, let me go through the 4 and then I'll get into details. It's show up on time, do what you say, finish what you start, and say please and thank you. So let's start with number 1, show up on time. Now, showing up on time when it refers to team meetings, when it refers to different situations, some of us are really good showing up on time if we have a customer that's waiting for us and we need to get out there and show up on time for the customer. However, when it comes to team meetings or when it comes to one-on-ones, call it with our supervisors or with our team members, we don't show up on time. And I think it sabotages teamwork because to me, showing up on time means that you show up on time in every area. And the area that I have the most struggle with is when I show up to meetings with vendors. I'm literally most of the time good with other meetings when it comes to meetings with managers, teams, or other things that happens. But when it comes to vendors, sometimes I have a hard time getting there because I'm always trying to squeeze something extra in before the meeting. However, showing up on time means showing up on time on everything. Okay, if it means getting to your kid's soccer game on time, making it to a event on time with your family, or even to your team's meeting, okay, when you're having a weekly meeting with your manager, with your team, I think it sabotages teamwork when everybody else is there and you're not there. And you feel like you're better than that and you don't have to show up to the meeting. I think that showing up on time is the first way that you actually support and build teamwork. And number 2, doing what you say. Doing what you say could become very complicated if you don't have a system for it. And we talk about your commitments. We write down every month, what are your goals? Multiple times in our weekly meetings, we're like, where are you with your goals? And we go over it. And then all of a sudden, sometimes I see guys surprised, like, wow, I didn't hit it. Wow, I thought I was going to do it. And sometimes what happens is that we're not writing down what our commitments are. A habit that I've made whenever I make a promise to somebody, I go back into my calendar and I write down a note in my calendar and put an alert so it'll alert me so I could get that done. If I tell them, hey, I'm going to do it by tomorrow at 8 o'clock, I write it down and I make sure. In dispatch or in scheduling, I always said, look, you guys get busy, you answer the phone, you got a lot of things going on. When a tech calls, you said, I'm going to call him back. Take a Post-it and write down, call John back, and put it right on your screen, because by the time you're done with everything, you're going to forget. You got to have systems that are going to remind you on how to get back to people or fulfill the commitments that you're talking about. Now, finish what you start, okay? This is a big one because for me, I'm a starter. I like starting things. I like starting the first 20%, but I'm not a finisher. I'm not the guy that likes to finish something. I'm the guy that likes to initiate and start something. If you're a starter like I am, understand yourself. Okay, understand what your role is and understand that you need to have finishers that are finishing tasks, because starting a bunch of things and not finishing it really wears down on your personal confidence level. Okay, and it really complicates life if you ask me, because people that have started 100 things and haven't finished anything means that they're starters but they're not finishers. When it comes to starting something new, you start thinking about it and going, should I really do this or not? Having deadlines is important when you start something. We have this thing we work on called a strategy circle that we got from Dan Sullivan. Every time we start something, we go through a strategy circle. It talks about what is it that we want to do, what's the deadline, and it has a date. And it talks about other things as well, obstacles and strategies against the obstacles, and then a to-do list. However, without having a deadline, what's going to happen is you're going to start things and things are never going to finish. And having deadlines, I think, is the key to getting things done. If you're on a job site and you start a job with a client, having a deadline, knowing, okay, this is the day I want to get this job done, and then figuring out things that you have to do in between is really important, because you want to fulfill the promises that you make to people. Referability habit number 3, finish what you start. Number 4, say please and thank you. This is a big one because to me, this is about respect and it's about gratitude. We talk about the gratitude principle. So saying please and thank you, and then the most important part of saying please and thank you is being sincere, coming from your heart. Because if you are not sincere when you're saying please or thank you, people could see right through it. You have to be sincere when you're asking people to do something for you. When I say please, I'm usually asking somebody to do something. And it all depends if the person's going to do it or not, if they know if it's coming from the heart or if it's not. Nowadays, I pay attention to emails I write. Every time I'm asking for somebody to do something for me in an email, I always try to remember, and most of the time I do, remember to start with please. Please, do this by this date if you can, and thank you very much. I appreciate your help. Because asking with please and ending with thank you always says that, hey, look, I respect you and I appreciate you. People will do more for people that are sincere, that really care about others, and they're grateful, that people are doing something that's going to help them. So those are the 4 referability habits. And I want to talk about this quick story about a guy that I use that did our rails at my house and does, wrought iron work. So this guy does amazing work. I mean, he just does unbelievable work. I mean, his work is like art, right? However, the problem with him is that he always makes promises and never sticks to it. Even though he does this amazing job and does this, work of art, he's lost a lot of work that we could have actually given him because of this habit he has of keep on promising somebody something and never coming through. Yet he's really good in the beginning until he takes the deposit. Once he gets the deposit, after that we lose him. I mean, it's like, I'm going to show up tomorrow, and then all of a sudden nobody shows up. I'll be there next week. You call him, oh no, I'm coming tomorrow, and tomorrow passes and nothing happens. Nobody calls, nobody communicates. And it's literally frustrating dealing with him. And I've heard that even in our company, we have people that are doing that. We have technicians, channel leaders, operations leaders, and we need to stop. If that's what we're doing, if we are being very sincere and promising people and getting a deposit, and then when it comes time to delivering the product, we're actually changing who we become, that's horrible. That's when people expect refunds, they expect discounts, they expect you to do something, they complain, and they're never really happy even though you did a great job for them. So please use these 4 referability habits with your family, with your loved ones. Use it at work, use it with teamwork, because especially teamwork makes a huge difference. And that's this week's version of 10X Growth Talk. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye.